All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We definitely appreciate you guys watching. So today, again, we're going to talk about another debatable topic here in the gun community, culture, whatever we call it nowadays. But it's the fact that, a lot of people recommend all their shooters or all their guys out there, people that conceal carry, to carry a backup gun. Now, I'm not a fan of backup guns, me personally. I don't do it. I'm not saying it's run, but I don't do it. But I got my boy here, Nick. We're gonna listen to his input. We're gonna listen to what he has to say. I'm gonna give some of my input as well. But I definitely would recommend you guys to put comments down below and let us know what you think about it. Do you carry a backup gun? Do you the reasons why, the reasons, good to go or it's not good, whatever. Just put comments down below. I definitely appreciate that. So Nick, what's going on, man?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate
Good, man. Good. I thought you disappear again.
it. Nope, I'm still here.
Okay, got it. So obviously, check out Nick. I'm gonna put links down below in the description box. I'm also gonna put a card someplace in there for you guys to go and subscribe. He does a lot of good videos, and he's cool enough to be here in the JH6 channel.
Yeah,
So
barely,
yeah,
barely,
you barely made it, but you made it though.
barely, barely.
All right, man. So you've been concealed carrying for a long time. Just like me, you went through the whole process of carrying a Glock 42 to carrying full size guns to carry, medium size guns. I mean, we have gone through the whole process. So I'm sure you have faced that question of carrying a backup gun. What do you think
Yep.
about that?
Well, I'm with you. I've only carried a backup gun a few times, very rarely. Um, so if you do it, I think it's an added bonus. For me, I generally carry, my Glock 19 or Glock 17 with a spare magazine. But if some people might not want to carry a spare magazine, I think a backup gun is good there. I guess my issues of why I generally don't is um, it's not where I want it. I really actually would like to get a leg holster, or excuse me, an ankle holster for a backup gun carry.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great way to do it and concealable and not have another super heavy gun
Mhm.
on my belt.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's a good option out there. I think that's really where revolvers shine is a backup type of roll gun. Personally, for me, nothing wrong with revolvers. I just prefer larger capacity semi-automatics.
Hmm.
But I think that's really where you can get some of the nice Smith and Wesson, J-frame revolvers. They're lightweights or airframes, whatever they're called,
Yep.
in different ways. I think if you do it, I think it's great. I think it's a very viable option. Obviously, it's faster to go to a secondary firearm if it's waistband accessible than a reload. So I think there's a lot of positives to it. Realistically, am I probably going to come into a situation where I would need my primary gun and then my backup? Very minimal. However, it's very minimal to use the gun. So you know what? Why not do it anyways?
Yeah.
Uh, but you know what? It's all right in the country. So if you want to carry 3 guns, 4 guns, I say do it anyways. It's your right, so do it. Uh, I would, if you guys are interested in looking at some ways to not only carry a backup gun but actually draw. Jeff on my channel at Arm Dynamics, go check out his channel. He has a bunch of videos on ankle carry with some really good information on it. I would check out those videos.
So definitely, I'm gonna put the channel description down in or channel link down in the description box. But the biggest thing I would say, man, is first of all, I got a couple of points. First of all, it's gonna be if you're gonna carry a backup gun and that is part of your system, you need to stay consistent. You need to
Yep.
carry that because again, being consistent is going to develop that muscle memory. It's going to develop your plan of how you carry. So if you're going to carry a backup gun one day, another day, again, it's nothing wrong with that. But you got to be a pretty experienced guy. You need to develop some type of muscle memory, some type of system. Because if you find yourself in a confrontation, and I know this from experience, you need to be able to do things without thinking about that. You need to be able to react to the situation without even thinking. And if you have a system that you train with, you carry, you're consistent, is going to allow you to do that. If you start, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to carry a knife, one day I'm going to carry a flashlight, the next day, you potentially could have some issues when it comes to that subject. So again, training is the key and being consistent. Again, I don't think there's nothing wrong with you carrying a backup gun. I don't do it, but you definitely need to stay consistent. You definitely need to do training if you are going to do it. And one last point here that I'm going to make, because a lot of people say, well, it's faster to go for your backup gun than reloading. I mean, obviously that could be true on many occasions, but at the same time, it could be potentially could be faster to reload than getting your backup gun, all according where you have your backup gun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because like me with back surgery, if I had to bend over to grab my my ankle holster, get my Glock 42, it's gonna take me like 3 minutes to come back up. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so
And here's another great point. I actually had a buddy that yesterday was taking a backup gun class with Steve Fisher, and so the drill was, your primary goes down, runs dry, whatever, and you transition to your backup. And his backup gun was a revolver. His primary gun was a Glock 19, and he actually had something to where, so shooting his Glock 19, runs dry, dumps it, grabs his wheel gun, bang bang click,
mhm.
and then how did he solve that problem? He immediately did what he would do with the semiotic. He actually brought it up and started to tap and rack it, because that's just what he's used to. So if you're going to carry a backup gun, I might suggest, obviously, if you run different platforms, I'm using that term generically,
Yeah.
make sure you train using both. However, if you can stick to a similar type of platform, do it. So obviously, if I was going to carry a backup gun, I would carry my Glock 42, because it's literally identical to my Glock 19. So function, the way it operates, everything's identical to my primary gun. So that would make it nice to, if I had transition to my backup gun, everything operates identically the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and keep in mind your backup gun needs to be uh as good, or well, maybe not just as your primary, but it needs to be a good, reliable pistol as
Absolutely.
well. Because, and I'll tell you guys a quick story back in probably late 80s or early 90s. I met this guy 97 around there. But he said back in the, I want to say late 80s or early 90s, he was a police officer in New York, and he was walking inside a bar, and as he's walking inside, a guy is coming out with a shotgun. Now, the moment that they kind of face each other, it was cold, so he had his hands inside his pocket. The guy pointed his shotgun at him, so he shot the guy through his jacket. Again, he had a revolver inside his right pocket, so he actually shot the guy through the jacket, through his jacket, hit the guy, killed the guy. I want to say he killed him. I can't remember now completely, but the point of this was that was not his primary handgun, but he used his secondary in a primarily role. And again, so it has to be reliable, dependable. It can be, I'm going to carry a Glock 17 primarily, and then I'm going to carry like something really bad. Don't say high points, because then we get a bunch of dislikes. Mateos would dislike this video. carry a CZ.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I guess to finish this video, if you want to carry a backup gun, carry a backup gun, but make sure you do some training. Make sure you carry the gun is a reliable gun, and make sure you know how to use it. I mean, be consistent to your training. You got any other input, bro?
Go out and train with it. Go take a backup gun class. Go out and test it out. Make sure it works. Make sure you can do everything to actually access and use that secondary or backup firearm.
Okay, got it. By any means, guys, we're not experts over here, so definitely your input down below is going to be very beneficial to guys trying to get information. So definitely put some comments down below. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to firearm, read the comments, because you're going to find a lot of good information. And again, all this information that we provide here in this channel and Nick's channel and all over the community, as long as it's good information, all those are tools. Grab all those tools and all that tactics, techniques, information, whatever, put it in your toolbox, because you don't know when you're going to reach back there and grab one of those tools out and do something that could potentially save your life. So again, appreciate you guys watching. If you guys like this type of videos, click like, subscribe to this channel, share the videos, and God is in control.